with Governor Sarah Palin. This year, each Alaskan got a check in the mail for $1,200. Now, that includes each child. Do you know why? It's so interesting. Last time I was up here, some little boy about 8 showed me his fancy, I think they were bright green tennis shoes. And he said, I just bought these with my $1,200 check.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he was so proud of his shoes.
His dividend.
Yeah, I think his mother held back. I think that the sort of the understanding I got is that he could buy one thing and the rest got put away.
Yeah.
What is, I mean, most Americans don't understand. What is this $1,200 check that these Alaskans are getting?
Well, it is the Alaska Permanent Fund dividend check. Every year, as oil development takes place, revenues derived from this development, a chunk of the money goes into the stock market, makes the money for Alaskans, and it goes into the permanent fund. It's about a $30-some billion fund right now. It's a savings account. And then Alaskans get a dividend as a result of the savings in that account. And it is good because Alaskans, our Constitution says that it is Alaskans who own the resources underground. It's not like other states where perhaps the oil company actually owns all the resources underground and they're the ones who solely benefit from development. Well, here in Alaska, we partner with the oil industry. Alaskans own the resources, and the oil companies lease the ground and lease the rights to develop, and they make a healthy profit, of course, from the development of our resources. But our Constitution says Alaskans own the resources, so they derive benefit every time that the resource is developed and money is made on it. That's what the Alaska Permanent Fund dividend check is every year that people get. It's good because Alaskans then keep an eye on what's going on in the oil industry, and they make sure that we're not taken advantage of. Now, we had been taken advantage of, and that's something that our administration came in and was cleaning up, taking on the oil companies and the oil service company, VECO, that had bought votes in the legislature. We said no more of that. But when the citizens of Alaska have such a stake in their own resources and how they're developing, they pay attention. They pay attention to who they elect. They pay attention to any of the scandals or potential scandals in the political arena up here, because they know that the oil industry has had at least such control over the political process and policies up here. They want to make sure that things are run cleanly, responsibly, ethically, because they have a stake in this, a financial stake in the resource development.
So, Piper, did you get your check?
My kids have never seen
You never seen your check? Do you know about that check?
I don't know.
Well, you better check on this one, Piper.
She's got herself a college fund going, though, so
I suppose that's what most of the families do, let the kids buy something, and because the kids get them too, and then tuck it away for school and stuff.
That is what we do. In fact, though, the kids they've never seen their checks. Someday they'll remind us that they got some checks coming. But no, I would rather that, yeah, Mom and Dad be responsible for those dollars. It would be way too tempting for some kid to go blow it, of course.
Yeah, but the kid, I mean, I don't think he spent his whole check. I think his mother just let him buy some fancy tennis shoes.
That's usually the way it goes, yeah.
And they were all excited about it.
They'll get like $100 out of it. I think, too, it is... not only is it constitutional, I mean, this is what you do with your resource development dollars in Alaska. The people of Alaska who own the resources get a share of it, but it's a good tool, too, for our kids, for them to be able to see why it is so important that it is responsible development, they have a stake in this, and why it's so important that politicians don't get away with any shenanigans and any self-dealing through all this. 85% of the state's budget, at least 85%, is it's built on the price of oil and oil developments up here. So that's how important the oil industry is to Alaska, and that's also why it is so important that this state not be taken advantage of by oil companies.
Go to GretaWire.com right now and tell us what you thought of our interview with Governor Palin. You can also check out clips of the interview that you may have missed the first time around. We will be back in 3 minutes.